Hey girls and guys, it is Matty here from Tuckerbox Design. I've been working on this painting here and I thought it had some pretty good elements to it that I could pass on to you and hopefully enhance your paintings there. So let's get right into it here. The first thing I wanted to mention is, I don't know why, but I just cannot paint a straight line. So it's just one of those things. I get these wobbly lines and, just can't get it straight. There's a really cool trick here in digital painting that's going to help you out. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to see this lasso tool showing here. What you want to do is left click on the lasso tool, and you're going to see on the right hand side some other tools in this set pop up. What you want to go to here is the poly tool. It's in the middle there, and once you click on that or release your mouse button on that, you'll get that tool up. It's got those straight lines to it. So what you want to do is tap on your tablet and then release with your stylus, or left click on the mouse and release, and that's going to set your first point. Then it's simply a matter of going around and creating your shape, whatever shape you want to make, and every point you want, just tap and then release and you're good to go. Now here, what you want to do is complete the shape. So you want to have it all come back to that original point you started with. See here, when I move the mouse or the stylus, you can see a little circle appear. That means you've completed your shape. So if you just tap or left click, you'll get your shape there and things will be looking awesome. After that, it's simply a matter of going in and rendering your shape you've got there, and you are going to have perfect straight lines. Pretty awesome. It really helps you. It helps me out, and I hope it helps you out too. Now there's a little thing to remember with this tool. While it's great and it'll really get you going with your straight lines, there's a point in your painting where you really want to add texture. Texture is everything in a digital painting. It really enhances the realism and really makes it look awesome. So you can see in this painting here, I've got to a point where it's starting to look a little bit stiff and rigid. So once you get to that point, just keep in mind that, okay, now I've got to go in and just add some texture. Not a problem after that. Just keep those layers separated and just start putting in some texture. Now with this painting, I also wanted to mention that I've made a bit of a mistake here. See this tree on the left hand side? It's fairly bland, it's just like a straight trunk, and then the branch just goes up at an angle there. What you want to do is try to make these shapes as interesting as you can possibly, the most interesting thing you could possibly think of, put that in. And that's going to really enhance your painting. So this trunk here, the branches, the sky's the limit really. You can really go for it. You can put a big bend in the trunk. That's always an effective look. The other thing I wanted to mention too is always remember your foreground. You always need something in the foreground. Now, while the tree is a pretty good thing to have in the foreground, this painting really offers up an opportunity to put in something like a spacecraft or something in there. You could put a person, whatever you really want to put in there, you can put in there. Now, there's another trick here too. This is so important to keep your layers separated. Now you can see my shadow layers, I separated them all. So if you go in and you think, oh, okay, I made that too dark or I made that too light, if you do separate out your layers, so you separate out the roof layer, the shadow layer, everything like that, everything is editable after that. So it's such a good habit to get into. And it took me a little while to get into that habit, but once I did, I never looked back after that. Then after that, all you have to do is go to image adjustments and then brightness and contrast, and you can really mess around with what how bright you want your painting to be, or the contrast of your painting, all sorts of stuff. And it's really something to do at the end of every single painting you do. You can really add a different feel to the painting and really make it really make it look awesome. So what I did was I went into brightness and contrast, and I think I upped the brightness. So I raised the brightness and decreased the contrast, and I did that 2 times and just came up with a look that I was fairly happy with. And it gave it a bit more of a whimsical look. I felt the painting was a bit too dark before that, but as always, please yourself. It's whatever you think and whatever you like is going to be best. That's my digital painting tutorial on the Poly Tool and a few things like that. Always remember that texture. That's going to help you so much with your digital painting. So if you use a combination of the Poly Tool and then going in and putting in that texture, you're going to find it's going to make a big difference to your paintings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you very soon. Okay, see ya.